Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on January 10th, 2023 in Śrī Māyāpur, India.
Tangun langayate giri Sri Gurum Dhinatharinam Sri Caitanya Ishwaram
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will continue with the compilation of the Śrī Kṛṣṇa Caitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Even Lord Brahmā and Lord Śiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord. Under the section, The Deliverance of Gopinath Pattanayak. Śrī Caitanya Chaitamrita Antya-lila 9.81. Rajar Guru Sabha Niyam. প্রতাপ রুদ্রের এক আছর নিয়মে যতদিন রহিত শ্রী পুরুষোত্তমে. As long as King Pratap Rudra stayed in Purushottama, he performed one regular duty. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.82. নিত্য আসি করে মিশ্রের পাদ সম্বাহন জগন্নাথ সেবার করে বিয়ান শ্রবণ. He would come daily to the house of Kashi Mishra to massage his lotus feet. The king would also hear from him about how opulently Lord Jagannath was being served.
So King Rajendra, he was engaged in serving a Vaishnava.
So King Prataprudra, he was engaged in serving a Vaishnava.
And what Shiva explained, worshiping a Vaishnava is superior to worshiping Vishnu.
As Lord Shiva explains, worshipping the Vaishnavas is superior to worshipping Vishnu.
Here, King Rajendra would also hear how opulently was Lord Jagannath being served.
King Prataprudra also would hear how opulently Lord Jagannath was being served.
So he was eager to hear about Lord Jagannath
So he was eager to hear about Lord Jagannath
from the lips of the Vaishnava.
from the lips of the Vaishnavas. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.83. রাজা মিশ্রের চরণ জবে চাপিতে লাগিলা তবে মিশ্র তারে কিছু ভঙ্গিতে কহিলা. When the king began pressing his lotus feet, Kashi Mishra informed him about something through hints. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.84. মিশ্র কর্তৃক রাজাকে প্রভুর পুরীতে এক সংবাদ দিয়ান দেব শোনো আর এক অপরূপ বাত মহাপ্রভু ক্ষেত্র ছাড়ি যাবেন আলাল্লাহ. My dear king, he said, please hear one uncommon item of news. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to leave Jagannath Puri and go to Alalanath.
Since the king, Rajendra, very eager that Lord Chaitanya stays in Jagannath Puri.
Since the king Prataprudra was very eager that Lord Chaitanya stays in Jagannath Puri,
he may take this news very seriously.
he may take this news very seriously. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.85.
রাজার দুঃখ ও তৎকারণ জিজ্ঞাসা। উত্তরে মিশ্রের গোপীনাথ বৃত্তান্ত বর্ণন। শুনি রাজা দুঃখী হইলা, পুছিলেন কারণ, তবে মিশ্র কহে তারে সব বিবরণ।
When the king heard that Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Alalanath, he was very unhappy and inquired about the reason. Then Kashi Mishra informed him of all the details. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.86.
গোপীনাথ পট্টনায়কে যাবে চাঙ্গে চড়াইলা, তার সেবক সব আসি প্রভুরে কহিলা।
When Gopinath Pattanayak was lifted onto the Changa, he said, all his servants went to inform Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.87.
রাজবৃত্ত অপহারক গোপীনাথকে ধর্মবিগ্রহ ও ধর্মগুপ্তা প্রভুর তীব্র ভৎসনা, লৌকিক ও রাজনৈতিক ও অর্থনৈতিক বা শুক্ল বিদ্যা অর্জন বিধি বর্ণন। শুনিয়া ক্ষোভিত হইল মহাপ্রভুর মন, ক্রোধে গোপীনাথ কইরা বহুত বৎসন।
Hearing about this, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely sorry at heart, and in anger he chastised Gopinath Pattanayak. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.88.
অজিতেন্দ্রিয় হইয়া করে রাজ বিষয়, নানা শত পথে করে রাজদ্রব্য ব্যয়।
Because he is mad after self-gratification, the Lord said, he acts as a government servant, but spends the government's revenue for various sinful activities.
So, Kashi Mishra is explaining how Lord Chaitanya, he was chastising Gopinath Pattanayak
So Kashi Mishra is explaining how Lord Chaitanya, he was chastising Gopinatha Pattanayak
for having taken the king's governance property.
for having taken the king's government's property. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.89.
ব্রহ্মস্ব অধিক এই হয় রাজধন, তাহা হরি ভোগ করে মহাপাপীজন।
The revenue of the government is more sacred than the property of a Brahmana. One who misappropriates the government's money and uses it to enjoy sense gratification is most sinful. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.90.
রাজার বর্তন খায় আর চুরি করে, রাজদণ্ড হয় সেই শাস্ত্রের অবিচারে।
One who serves the government but misappropriates the government's revenue is liable to be punished by the king. That is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.91.
নিজ কৌরি মাগে রাজা নাহি করে দণ্ড, রাজা মহাধার্মিক এই হয় পাপী ভণ্ড।
The king wanted his revenue paid and did not want to enforce punishment. Therefore, the king is certainly very religious. But Gopinath Pattanayak is a great cheat. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.92.
রাজ করি মাগে আমারে ফুকারে এই মহা দুঃখ ইহা কে সহিতে পারে।
He does not pay the revenue to the king, but he wants my help for release. This is a greatly sinful affair. I cannot tolerate it here.
So, here, Lord Caitanya is not being exactly portrayed.
So here, Lord Caitanya is not being exactly portrayed.
Anyway, Lord Caitanya disapproved of Gopinath Pattanayak.
So anyway, Lord Caitanya disapproved of Gopinath Pattanayak
Not paying his dues to the government.
not paying his dues to the government. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.93.
নির্জন অবাসচ্ছা অর্থাৎ বিষয় কথা মুখরিত স্থানরূপ দুঃসঙ্গ ত্যাগ। আলালনাথ যাই তাহা নিশ্চিন্তে রহিম বিষয়ীর ভালো মন্দ বার্তা না শুনিম।
Therefore, I shall leave Jagannath Puri and go to Alalanatha, where I shall live peacefully and not hear about all these affairs of materialistic people.
So, Kashi Mishra is explaining all these things to the king.
So Kashi Mishra is explaining all these things to the king.
And what will be the king's decision after hearing this?
And what would be the king's decision after hearing this? Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.94.
পুরীতে প্রভুর অবস্থান অর্থ রাজার সর্বস্ব ত্যাগের প্রতিজ্ঞা। এত শুনি কহে রাজা পাইয়া মনে ব্যথা সব দ্রব্য ছাড়ো যদি প্রভু রহে নথা।
When King Pratapritra heard all these details, he felt great pain in his mind. I shall give up all that is due from Gopinath Pattanayak, he said, if Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu will stay here at Jagannath Puri.
The king wants Lord Caitanya to stay at Jagannath Puri,
The king wants Lord Chaitanya to stay at Jagannath Puri.
even he's willing to sacrifice what is owed like tonight.
So even he is willing to sacrifice what is owed by Gopinath Pattanayak. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.95.
ক্ষণকাল প্রভু দর্শনও পরম লোভনীয়। একক্ষণ প্রভুর যদি পাইয়ে দর্শন কোটি চিন্তা মনে লাভ নহে তার সম।
If even for a moment I could get an interview with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I would not care for the profit of millions of Chintamani stones.
Haribo!
Haribo!
I King Pratapritra valued having the darshan of Lord Caitanya
So King Pratapritra, he valued having the darshan of Lord Chaitanya
more than a million Chintamani stones.
more than a million Chintamani stones. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 9.96.
কোন ছাড় পদার্থ এই 2 লক্ষ কাহন প্রাণ রাজ্য কর প্রভু পদে নির্মন্থন।
I do not care about this small sum of 200,000 kahanas. What to speak of this? I would indeed sacrifice everything at the lotus feet of the Lord, including my life and kingdom.
And here, King Caitanya wanted to dedicate his life, his kingdom, to the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya.
Here King Prataprudra is willing to dedicate his life, his kingdom at the lotus feet of Lord Caitanya. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.97.
ভক্ত দুঃখে প্রভুর দুঃখ মিশ্র কহে কৌড়ি ছাড়িবা নহে প্রভুর মন তারা দুঃখ পায় এই না যায় সহন
Kṛṣṇa hinted to the king, "It is not the Lord's desire that you forfeit the payment. He is unhappy only because the whole family is troubled." Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.98.
রাজার গোপীনাথের শাস্তি লাভ বিষয়ে অনভিজ্ঞতা জ্ঞাপন রাজা কহে তারে আমি দুঃখ নাহি দিয়ে চাঙ্গে চড়া খড়গে দ্বারা আমি না জানিয়ে
The king replied, "I had no desire to give pain to Gopinath Pattanayak and his family, nor did I know about his being lifted onto the changa to be thrown on the swords and killed." Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.99.
পুরুষোত্তম জানারে তেহ কইল পরিহাস সেই জানা তারে দেখাইল মিথ্যা ত্রাস
He sneered at Purushottam Jan. Therefore, the prince tried to scare him as a punishment.
Because
Gopinath Pattanayak
had made fun of Prince
had made fun of Prince
by saying about his looking up in the air.
by saying about him looking up in the air.
That's why the Prince wanted to scare him
Therefore, the prince wanted to scare him
by putting him on the changa.
by putting him on the changa. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.100.
মিশ্রকে প্রভু দর্শনার্থ ও ভবানন্দ বংশগণের প্রতি স্বীয় স্বাভাবিক প্রীতি জ্ঞাপনার্থ রাজার অনুরোধ তুমি যহ প্রভুরে রাখ যত্ন করি এই মই তাহারে ছাড়িনু সব কৌরি
Go personally to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and keep him at Jagannath Puri with great attention. I shall excuse Gopinath Pattanayak from all his debts.
Our king, Prataprudra, and the Kṛṣṇa to go to Lord Caitanya.
So, King Prataprudra is requesting Kashi Mishra to go to Lord Caitanya
And to beg him to stand down for it.
and to beg him to stay in Jagannath Puri.
So, the king is very attached to Lord Caitanya.
So, the king is very attached to Lord Caitanya
And he values Lord Caitanya more than anything.
So he followed the value if Lord Caitanya wanted anything. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela 9.101.
মিশ্র কহে কৌরি ছাড়িবা নহে প্রভুর মনে কৌরি ছাড়িলে প্রভু কদাচিৎ দুঃখ মানে
Kashi Mishra said, Excusing Gopinath Pattanayak of all his debts will make the Lord unhappy, for that is not his intention. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antilila 9.102.
রাজা কহে কৌরি ছাড়ে মু ইহালা কহিবা সহজ মোর প্রিয় তারা ইহা জানাইবা।
The king said, I shall absolve Gopinath Pattanayak of all his debts, but don't speak of this to the Lord. Simply let him know that all the family members of Bhavananda Rai, includes Gopinath Pattanayak, are naturally my dear friends. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antilila.
Lord Caitanya is Antarjami.
Lord Caitanya is Antarjami.
He knows everything.
He knows everything.
Even if the Kṛṣṇa didn't tell this to the king,
Even
Lord Caitanya,
Even Kashi Mishra didn't tell this to the even if he doesn't tell this to Lord Caitanya,
Lord Caitanya would know.
Lord Caitanya would know. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antilila 9.103.
ভবানন্দ রায় আমার পূজ্য গর্বিত তার পুত্র গণে আমার সহজেই প্রীত।
Bhavananda Rai is worthy of my worship and respect. Therefore, I am always naturally affectionate to his sons.
So Brahmā Rai is very dear to Lord Caitanya,
So Bhavananda Rai is very dear to Lord Caitanya.
and since his sons also Lord Caitanya's dedicated devotees,
Since his sons are also Lord Caitanya's dedicated devotees,
they are very special.
they are very special.
So somehow or other, they're also very dear to King Prataprutra.
Somehow or another, they are also very dear to King Prataprudra. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antilila 9.104.
গোপীনাথকে যুবরাজের অনুগ্রহ প্রদর্শন ও বিদায় দান। এত বলি মিশ্রে নমস্করি ঘরে গেলা গোপীনাথে বড় জানা ডাকিয়া আনিলা।
After offering obeisances to Kashi Mishra, the king returned to his palace and called for both Gopinath and the eldest prince.
Somehow, I was chapter started in Lord Brahmā and Lord Śiva cannot know the intentions of Lord Caitanya.
Somehow, the chapter says, somehow even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord,
Or to speak of us.
what to speak of us. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antilila 9.105.
রাজা কহে সব কৌরি তোমার ছাড়িল সেই মাল জঠা দণ্ড পাঠ তোমার তো দিল।
The king told Gopinath Pattanayak, you are excused for all the money you owe the treasury, and the place known as Mala Jatya Dandapata is again given to you for collections. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antilila 9.106.
আর বার হইছে না খাইও রাজধান আজি হইতে দিল তোমায় দ্বিগুণ বর্তন।
Do not again misappropriate the revenue of the government in case you think your salary insufficient. Henceforward, it will be doubled. Wow.
So, a king is telling Gopinath Patanayak
So the king is telling Gopinath Patanayak
that pay your dues,
that pay your dues,
or I'll double your salary,
I will double your salaries,
or don't steal.
but don't steal.
So we can learn from this the taxes have to be paid to the government.
So we should learn from this that the taxes has to be paid to the government. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.107.
এত বলিল এত ঘটি তারে পড়াইল প্রভু আজ্ঞা লইয়া যাহ বিদায় তোমা দিল।
After saying this, the king appointed him by offering him a silken wrapper for his body. Go to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he said. After taking permission from him, go to your home. I bid you farewell, now you may go.
And somehow, Gopinath Patanayak,
So somehow Gopinath Patanayak,
every sent to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
is being sent to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.108.
গোপীনাথের শাস্তি বর্ণন প্রসঙ্গে প্রভু কৃপা ফলে ব্যবহারিক ও পারমার্থিক উন্নতি বা শ্রেয় অবৈশিষ্ট্য বর্ণন। পরমার্থে প্রভুর কৃপা সেহত বহু দূরে অনন্ত তাহার ফল কে বলিতে পারে।
By the mercy of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, one can certainly become spiritually advanced. Indeed, no one can estimate the results of his mercy.
All over the world, wherever Nitai Gaur are worshipped,
All over the world, wherever Nitai Gaur are worshipped,
they can very quickly become spiritually advanced.
Understand the transcendental personality of Lord Kṛṣṇa.
And they can understand the transcendental personality of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.109.
রাজ্য বিষয় ফলে কৃপার আভাসে তাহার গণনা করো মনে নাহি আইসে।
Gopinath Patanayak achieved the result of kingly opulence due to but a glimpse of the Lord's mercy. Therefore, no one can calculate the full value of his mercy. We are very fortunate We are living in the dham of Lord Caitanya.
Here, I've been very serious in devotional service.
Here, being very serious in devotional service,
You can get a full mercy of Lord Caitanya,
you can get the full mercy of Lord Caitanya,
which is unestimable.
which is unestimable. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.110.
কাহা চাঙ্গে চড়াইয়া লয় ধন প্রাণ কাহা সব ছাড়ি সেই রাজ্যাদি প্রদান।
Gopinath Patanayak was lifted onto the Changa to be killed, and all his money was taken away. But instead his debts were excused, and he was appointed collector in the same place.
By the mercy of Lord Caitanya,
So by the mercy of Lord Caitanya,
Gopinath Patanayak situation was better than before.
Gopinath Patanayak's situation was better than before. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 9.111.
কাহা সর্বস্ব বেচিলয় দেয়া না যায় কৌরি কাহা দ্বিগুণ বর্তন পরায়ণে তো ডরি।
On one hand, Gopinath Pattanayak was unable to clear his debt even by selling all his possessions. But on the other hand, his salary was doubled and he was honored with the silken wrapper. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.112.
প্রভুর ইচ্ছা নাহি তারে কৌড়ি ছাড়াইবে, দ্বিগুণ বর্তন করি পুনঃ বিষয় দিবে।
It was not the desire of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu that Gopinath Pattanayak be excused of his debt to the government, nor it was his desire that his salary be doubled, or that he be reappointed collector at the same place. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.113.
তথা পিতার সেবকাশী কইল নিবেদন, তাতে ক্ষুব্ধ হইল জগন্মহাপ্রভুর মন।
When Gopinath Pattanayak's servant went to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu and informed the Lord of his plight, the Lord was somewhat agitated and dissatisfied. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.114.
বিষয় সুখ দিত প্রভু নাহি মনোবল, নিবেদন প্রভাবে তবু ফলে এত ফল।
The Lord had no intention of awarding his devotee the happiness of material opulence, yet simply because of his being informed, such a great result was obtained.
Lord Caitanya wanted his devotees to taste love of Krishna.
Lord Caitanya wanted his devotees to taste love of Kṛṣṇa.
He was not interested in increasing their material opulence.
He was not interested in accumulating material opulences.
But just by informing Lord Caitanya, he got that result.
Just by informing Lord Caitanya, he got that result. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 9.115.
প্রভুর অদ্ভুত ঐশ্বর্যময় স্বভাব, কে কহিতে পারে গৌরের, কে কহিতে পারে গৌরের আশ্চর্য স্বভাব। ব্রহ্মা শিবাদি যার না পায় অন্তর্ভাব।
No one can estimate the wonderful characteristics of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Even Lord Brahmā and Lord Śiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord.
Maybe Jayapataka by being put on the Changa,
Maybe Gopinath Pattanayak by being put on the Changa
and being threatened with his life,
being threatened with his life,
he became detached from the material things.
he became detached from the material things. Somehow,
That all these fruits,
somehow he got all these boons. Fruits, sorry Guru Maharaj.
just like a little glance of Lord Caitanya.
Just by a little glance of Lord Caitanya.
Who can estimate Lord Caitanya's full mercy?
Who can estimate Lord Caitanya's full mercy?
Everyone should try to give his full mercy.
Everyone should try to get his full mercy. Thus ends the chapter entitled Even Lord Brahmā and Lord Śiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord. Under the section, The Deliverance of Gopinath Pattanayak,
I told the devotees last night that sometimes,
If any math, what's that, Guru Maharaj?
sometimes Prabhupada said that hearing all the disturbances,
Sometimes Srila Prabhupada said, hearing all the disturbances
the different management issues,
of different management issues,
he couldn't do his writing properly. He couldn't do his writing properly.
he couldn't do his writing properly.
I requested the GBC to please take up the management issues
So he requested the GBC to please take up the management issues
and that he could write.
so that he can write.
This pastime reminded me of that.
This pastime reminds me of that.
Thank you for watching our videos. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.